any of it, tweeting out the classic MJ Last Dance meme, and I took that personally. So, Shannon, what do you make of this?
Well, Darius Slay wished Jim Schwartz would shut up because you ain't got to you didn't have to cover Megatron or DK Metcalf. And Skip, that's why you have to be careful. You see, Skip, sometimes you can try and pay a guy a compliment, but that's not how he receives it. He said, you don't think I'm as good as Megatron. Well, I'm gonna show you. What I believe Jim Schwartz said is that, look, I was the head coach in Detroit. I coached Megatron. And you're the closest thing I've seen. Size. Now, I don't think he's as gifted a natural catcher of the football like Megatron.
I agree.
Size, speed, yeah, he has all that. But as far as just naturally gifted at catching the football, no, I don't think he's there yet. Could he be? Sure. And he's going to have a chip on his shoulder, Skip, because he sees all the receivers that went in front of him and the teams that passed over him twice. Seattle passed over him once, but they didn't make that mistake a second time.
Did not.
So he's going to play with that chip a la Tom Brady. All those teams that passed over him over and over, and all those guys that went in front of him. So this is why you have to be careful, Skip. You try to give a guy a compliment. He takes it as you taking a shot at him saying he's not good, and then he takes it out on your football team.
Yep. So we just discussed Michael Jordan in our previous segment. And this comes across to me as Jordan-esque because the all-timer on exaggerating or even creating slights was Michael Jeffrey Jordan because he would just make them up. I've told you the story about John Calipari was coaching the
Nets, New Jersey
Nets at that point. Playoff game at New Jersey, and Jordan spent the whole game just torching it should be Perry, I think is how we say it, but Calipari. And he's pointing to him up the court. This is for you. This is for you. And I asked Michael after the game, what was that about? He said, I don't even know him. I just don't like the way he prances up and down. Okay? Well, you just made that one up. Well, this one, he didn't make it up. I think he leaped to a conclusion and exaggerated it because I think Jim Schwartz was attempting to pay him the ultimate compliment. You're on your way to becoming the greatest receiver I ever saw, Megatron, right?
And that's the thing, though, Skip, but if he thinks he's better than Megatron right now, he out of his mind. Well, you could take this as a slight, bro. You're not better than Megatron right now.
Well, that's the truth. He's not.
Yes.
Because I even looked at the numbers, because Megatron had that 1 year in 2012. He almost caught 2,000 yards worth of passes, 1964. That's the record. Okay, so right now, DK's at 1,039 yards. And if you play out his yards per game, 95 per game, he's going to get to 1,500. Well, so he's not even going to get in the ballpark of that number. But he's still really, really good.
And you're only in your second year. Bruh, you can't, look, and I get it. Skip, I'm not here to tell him what he should, whatever he wants to use as motivation. If someone's trying to pay you a compliment and you take it as a slight, it's going to get you to that place where you can go and ball out, have at it. But, bro, every time somebody says something to you, they're not trying to slight you.
Yep. So back to your original point, Jim Schwartz has some Bruce Arians in him because he's got a big ego, and he had some moments of success as the head coach in Detroit, and then it completely flamed out. But he can be a little nutty sometimes and go a little crazy and lose his mind. Well, you're losing your mind when you dare to approach the star receiver on the other team and talk to him at all before the game. It gets you where? It gets you nowhere.
Just tell him, say, hey, son, you're a hell of a player. Hey, you got a bright future in this league. That's normally what happens, Skip. I mean, you're like, hey, son, you got a heck of a season going on. You're a heck of a player. Continue success and keep it going. Don't offer no comparisons between, this or that. Because more times than not, DK Metcalf is not the only guy. Most guys will take that as a slight. I can assure you. I mean, now, Aaron Donald, I don't think he'll say, well, man, I see a lot of Warren Sapp and a lot of Johnny Randall in you. Well, that was the first thing that I saw him. I said, he reminds me of John Randall with the way he plays with his hands. He's undersized. He's smallish. He's not the typical 300-pounder big guy. But he might say, well, oh, so you don't think I'm better than John Randall and Warren Sapp? I mean, you talk about two guys that's in the Hall of Fame, two of the premier defensive tackles on
football. You're not a coach on a team about to play his team, right?
So, like I said, DK took it as a slight. I just think the thing is, Skip, because he went in the second round, he's like, man, look at this. I'm 6'3", I'm 240, I run 4'3", and Can't nobody use this in the first round? Can't nobody use this at the top of the second round?
Yep. Well, and J.J. Arcega-Whiteside went in the
second round. He went before him.
But he went about 7 slots before him. Yeah, 7 before. And last year, in his rookie year, he caught 169 yards total worth of passes.
That man caught 177 last night.
He was 177 last night, and that was for you, J.J.
And that's
right?
But Skip, if you're trying to get Carson Wentz, think about what Andy did for Mahomes. He had Tyreek. He go get Mecole Hardman. He had a running back. He go Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
Yep.
He just tried to add weapons, and I'm going to give him more weapons.
By the way, Mecole went before DK went also in the second round. Right. So just for those who have lost track, Hollywood Brown goes in the first round at 25. Then N'Keal Harry goes at 32, late first round. Then here comes Debo. I like Debo Samuel.
So
do I.
Right.
I love him. And I love A.J. Brown.
Right.
He's starting to dominate, right?
Didn't they play at the same school? Didn't they both play at Ole Miss?
Yep, they did. That's something. How did they not win more games?
Exactly.
Then Mecole Hardman went at 56. J.J. went at 57. Paris Campbell went at 59. Andy Isabella went to the Cardinals at 62. He can fly, but come on. Seriously?
Skip me. What about I think sometimes that neck injury. You remember he had that neck injury, and I think that DK Metcalf, and I think that might have scared some people off.
It was that. So he's the last pick in the second round, number 64. What also scared people off was, despite all of his just immense ability and his stature, he would drop big balls in big games. He dropped one last night in the end zone. It was like his easiest catch of the night, and he just muffed it.
Remember the Arizona one? That Russ threw him and hit him in his face mask.
It was a face mask.
So,
okay, that's that guy.
Right.
So that's why what Jim Schwartz said was true.
He gonna have a few drops. Skip, people don't realize Jerry dropped a lot of balls his rookie year. His first couple, Jerry would drop the ball.
I was there one day when he dropped one against the Giants in a playoff game. He just dropped a touchdown.
And then all of a sudden he dropped nothing.
Yeah, because they got blown off the field.
They got the doors blown off of that. And I think that was 86, if I'm not mistaken. And because the Giants went on to win the Super Bowl that year. They beat the brakes off the Broncos.
And it seemed like the score of that game was like 55-3.
But DK got a promising career.
He does.
He's in a great situation. With the exception of Skip, who else could have? Obviously, you didn't know you were going to get Kyler Murray. But he's in the only situation that would have been better for him had he gone to Kansas City with Mahomes.
Yep.
Because Mahomes was